Rough.
I feel like we haven't dude-dogged it in a couple eps.
Dudes and dogs, but mostly just dude dogs.
Only dude dogs. We've established. It's not an either-or. It's an and situation.
Ow. I can't believe that this podcast has gone on for, first of all, far too long.
100 years.
But the fact that something Al Green did at the beginning of the year,
in early March,
was something that has carried on. We've carried on the memory and the legacy of Al Green as the dog for years.
Yeah, and by early March, I mean it was an early March Nitro. We recorded that, I want to say, because that was one with Greg, right?
That was with Greg.
That was Labor Day 2017.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, by the way, we used to be 6 months ahead.
Yeah, that really worked out well for us.
Now we are 2 months behind. More than 2 months behind.
And, like, it's...
We have let this lapse 8 months so far.
It's not even just that we're 2 months behind. It's the fact that we've completely given up on putting effort into it, and we're just struggling to get through this week by week.
Yeah, we have transitioned from 3 pages of single-spaced notes to half a page of double-spaced notes, which, honestly, last time we did for the first time and worked fine.
Way better. Let's be honest.
It also didn't make the episode any shorter.
Everyone enjoys the banter way more than they enjoy the recap.
Absolutely.
So
I feel like in other podcasts where they have to do, like, an ad read in the middle, like, our ad read is just the Nitro results, and the rest of the, like, our random preamble is the actual podcast.
Yeah. As per the usual. It is just you and I.
Yes.
I am Drew.
I am Scott. There's been a number of hirings and firings, mostly firings.
However, we are procuring some future guests.
Yes.
To host this with us.
Yes.
That will probably
and to eventually pawn this off on.
Well, pawn this off on, but they will definitely be having more fun than we will.
Yes.
Don't be surprised if in the next month there is an episode where we barely talk.
Yeah.
We just let the guest host
because
do the
for the
whole
guest,
thing.
they only have to do it once.
They only have to do it once.
And it's new and exciting.
But it's also like a man named Greg.
A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Yeah.
That's a palindrome. You're welcome.
Thank you. A man named Greg, a man named Jose, a few other random people who, like, constantly want to do this with us. Like, we should just give them the show.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are so desperate to do it...
Oh, you want to do it?
Just have it.
Oh, you want to do it? Okay, now you do it.
There will be no more episodes unless you record a new episode.
Yeah, you want this podcast to continue? Now it's your podcast.
Yeah, you do it, we're done.
It's like twisting a wish from, like, a monkey's paw situation.
Man, I wish I could be on the podcast with Scott and Drew.
Now you are, and it's only you forever.
Now I have to record this podcast. Guess what? When you get to the end of 2001, when it ends,
you just loop back around to 95, baby. No. Now you
back to 2000.
Oh, just 2000 again.
Just do 2000 again.
Jesus Christ. No, now you do Thunders.
Thunders.
Then you do Worldwide.
Sounds like there's some cool stuff on Thunders.
Maybe there's Paul Orndorff on Thunder. We don't know.
Oh yeah, I couldn't find anything about that. That was a revelation that we had at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah,
because we knew Paul Orndorff was on the team with the Filthy Animals against the
Thrillers.
The Thrillers, but like we watched
Paul. Unless I'm mistaken, we've watched every Nitro.
Yes.
Up to this point.
Yes.
We have not seen Paul Orndorff once. Correct?
No, there's been no reference to him. There's nothing.
What was he doing on the pay-per-view last night? Hurting
himself terribly?
Giving a pile driver. Not taking. Guys.
Just a pulling pile driver.
There's a common misconception out there that Paul Orndorff got hurt taking a pile driver because it's a move where you land on your head. That is not correct. Paul Orndorff hurt himself giving a pile driver, landing on his butt.
Like, not even hard.
He suffered a career-ending butt injury.
Huh.
Which I believe otherwise only happens in gay porn.
Well, he's got the body of a man who could have been in gay porn. That was, I mean, surprise, surprise, that was in fact his last match.
Yeah, obviously.
He didn't come out of retirement to do any, like,
no
bullshit stuff.
No, he shouldn't have done that. He was already fucked up by, like, 1988.
Literally, like, the last time he was on television was December 1999.
What is going on?
And then there was nothing.
What were the circumstances? I have so many questions.
Nothing. I can't find any.
I have so many questions about that pay-per-view. What were the circumstances that led to Paul Orndorff wrestling a match? What were the circumstances that led to Jim Duggan, who last week we saw attack Lance Storm? So it wasn't some sort of setup to joining Lance Storm 6 days later. I have so many questions.
There's no answers.
I know, that's the infuriating part of this. That's part of what's killing us.
The only thing that it says here
is any questions you have, you're met with nothing but disappointment and more confusion. There's no answers to the questions.
But that's because they didn't have answers to the questions.
There's literally no answer exists. It's not like if we dug further, we'd get an answer. Because there's no answer.
There's no answer. The only information I can find out is that Orndorff became one of the trainers at the power plant.
Okay.
He trained O'Hare, Jindrak, Sanders, Palumbo, etc.
So he's to blame.
The only note it says is that in 2000, but it doesn't say when, the powers that be decided to punish Orndorff for being such a successful teacher. Apparently, like, in the storyline, that's the only thing that it says.
That's strange.
That's not a dude dog, that's a girl dog.
A girl dog has been allowed into the room for some reason. I'm not sure why. This is highly unorthodox.
Are you a wet dog? No wet dogs on the bed. Paws are wet. No wet dogs on the bed.
Well, you're just pissy.
Only 2 dogs are allowed on the bed. They can be as wet as they want.
Yeah, and they can get us as wet as they want.
So it says, but then it says that they demanded that he come out of retirement and wrestle in a handicap match against the Harris twins.
Is that in '99?
That's 99.
Yeah,
but like,
and then
nothing.
And
so
then,
is it just because, like, I guess
were they just short a guy and they're like,
and he was their trainer, like he was their trainer, so he was like, yeah, I could work him, but like before '99, like he
did stuff in like the mid-90s.
He did nothing in WCW.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But again, nothing here makes sense. So
don't ask is the lesson here.
Yeah, just go and enjoy the match for what it is.
The lesson
a match that gets shut down ahead of time early because Orndorff is completely fucked.
Yeah.
He's also got the old Kurt Angle arms where he's got no muscle left.
It's great. It's literally the left arm of a mummy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, handicap match against Harris Brothers. Then that is it.
And that's it.
That is it. Oh my god, he came out of retirement in 2017.
2017?
Danny Duggan, Omar Amir, and Paul Orndorff defeat the Cannon Clan of Bobby Collins and Jacob Creed and Kevin Cannon at the CWE 8th Anniversary Show in Brandon, Manitoba. For Great Western Roadhouse Wrestling. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a whole new set of questions.
But so before that, his last match in WCW or ever was
95?
December 95. He defeated Disco on Worldwide.
Yeah, I remember he was around a little bit at like the very beginning of Nitro and like 94 and stuff. When he had that sweet Mr. Wonderful song.
Yeah. He's around for all of 95.
Yeah.
All of 94.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it fucking doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's probably because Natural Born Thrillers had too many members and Filthy Animals had not enough to the point where...
Which they didn't realize until the day of the show.
Yeah, and then it plays into the Nitro.
Which I was flummoxed by that situation. I'm glad you explained it to me.
Only because I heard them say it.
Yeah, I literally didn't understand what was happening. I was so confused.
Yeah, that was a little bit bonkers. Yeah, the first note I made was Orndorff's return, because the match, the pay-per-view, was the Filthy Animals versus the Natural Born Thrillers. And it was elimination, and they had to end it early.
Because an old man died.
Because an old man broke his spine in the match. I just want to make sure. I'm not sure. Maybe. So, there's a lot of this Nitro has so many just, like, dumb fucking things on it.
We have watched back-to-back horrible shows. Last week was maybe the worst. This was not much better.
Last week's was worse, but this one was also really fucking bad.
This is easy bottom 5.
Yeah, this one is of the
30 whatever we've watched so far. I'm so glad we're more than halfway. If we weren't more than halfway, we'd have to stop.
I would quit. I would 100% quit.
The fact that we're, I think, like more than 3/4 at this point, we sort of have to, ride it out.
Yeah, we gotta commit to this. So the team was Disco, Ray, Hoovy, Conan, and Tigress.
Nice.
So she was in the match.
Okay.
Against and Big Vito and Paul Orndorff.
What a team.
Against Jindrak, O'Hare, Sanders, Palumbo, Stasiak, Reno, and the Bull. Yeah. So 6 very large muscular men and Mike Sanders against a bunch of small Mexicans.
Yeah.
A woman.
Yeah.
An American hero.
Yeah.
And an old man. That is and it went 16 minutes before the match got shut down.
And so it was going to go longer.
Yeah.
It was going to go 20.
It was the longest match on the show.
Wow.
By far.
And didn't finish.
Longer than Steiner Goldberg, and it didn't finish.
And shout out to Steiner Goldberg, maybe the only good pay-per-view match of 2000.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's like a 3-count Young Dragon somewhere in there. There's the latter one.
We saw some good. Yeah, we saw some good ones, but yeah, they actually haven't been on in a while.
No, they like, well, it's Russo, so like he tends to forget about people that aren't white sometimes.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the time. I can't remember if I mentioned last ep or if I just mentioned it in passing while we were watching the show, but sometime before this, I think sort of in the August range, they literally fired every Mexican in the company besides Ray Hoovy Conan.
Yeah, I think he's that.
And actually, Conan's not actually Mexican.
He's Puerto Rican.
He's Cuban.
Gross.
Yeah.
You faker.
But yeah, so I don't think I mentioned it.
Oh
but
god, he is Cuban.
I know.
My mind is blown.
I wasn't making.
You know what though? He looks
Cuban. He looks very Cuban.
He looks
actually.
dirty Cuban. Gross. Well, I'm out. I am officially off of the Conan bandwagon.
You were in before?
I absolutely was.
It was only his nationality that was
100%. He was
tenuously holding.
If he was Mexican, totally in. But,
all right.
You know, can't support those kind of things. Can't support changing of your
that sort of lifestyle.
Yeah. But yeah, this there was number one. This was like a show where we realized just how bad Kevin Nash's sense of humor is.
Kevin Nash,
like the things he genuinely thinks are funny.
Kevin Nash is such a geek.
Like he's got the humor of like at this point he's what like in his late 30s, but he's got the humor of like a 60-year-old grandfather.
Yeah.
Where there was a running gag of writing on a blackboard that like he's drawing out game plans.
Yeah, drawing out like football plays, but it always like spells out stupid things. He was drawing.
You suck.
Yeah, he was drawing out a game plan for the Natural Born Thrillers, and it spelled "you suck," and they didn't enjoy his brand of humor. And then he was drawing out a game plan for him and Russo versus Jarrett and Steiner, and I know you're listening going like, why was that a match? Like, I don't know. But
spoiler alert, it wasn't a match.
It didn't happen, so it's fine. And that one spelled out "bite me." Nobody says "bite me" anymore, by the way. That's not a thing anymore. I feel like that was a product of the 1990s.
The only person that I would imagine still says it, and if he doesn't still say it, I'm going to be really mad, is the Dog-Faced Gremlin. If he doesn't still tell people during, because he's he does real estate now. He's a real estate agent. If he doesn't tell his clients, if you don't buy this house, you can bite me.
If you don't like him, bite him.
If you want to fight me, bite me.
That's not it.
No?
It's definitely not it. But yeah,
that isn't not a commonly used phrase.
I assume the same people who say "bite me" are the same people who say like
frickin'.
Exactly, non-ironically.
Yeah.
That's exactly the word. Yeah,
frick.
Yeah, with the G or the CK, but either or.
Oh,
like
farts.
Don't say that. Like, if you say that, you're not my friend. I can't be with you.
Also, can we talk about how it is bizarre the way that they censor swearing? That you can say ass, but they bleep out hole?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, Scott. Ass is the bad word.
Ass is the bad word, but the hole is the modifier that makes the ass part worse.
And then you got a visual, like, you're thinking about a butthole.
Yes.
So if you say ass, like, oh, that's a butt.
It's
whatever.
the whole butt, because you can think about the whole butt.
Yeah.
The whole butt isn't censorable material.
Right.
But the hole.
Where the poo comes out.
Fudge
machine.
The fudge machine. And sometimes where things go in.
I mean,
in defiance of God.
Yeah.
If you have to think about that.
Men trying to make babies with each other.
Yeah. If you have to think about that, then that gets censored.
I guess that goes against Christian agenda.
Yeah. But I feel like they've been censoring more than they were, because we were hearing... Scott Steiner was saying shit a lot.
Yes.
And not getting censored.
Yes.
Maybe... And
he was saying ass, too, like a lot.
So, but that being said, maybe he is still saying... Maybe he just didn't say shit this episode. Maybe he was just saying fuck and the N-word.
Well...
Often in the same sentence.
Especially at Booker T.
Yeah.
He definitely did say fuck, because it got...
He definitely said fuck
but they were slow to bleep it.
Yeah, because
you heard the fuck beep.
Yeah, the 7-second delay.
Yeah.
So that was good.
But yeah. This show, just... Number one, as we've mentioned many times, WCW loves abuse of women. In the first 2 matches on the show...
2 for 2.
There was... just uncensored woman abuse.
2 for 2 on beaten up dames.
Beaten up dames, like just Shane Douglas violently grabbing Paisley, and
Shane Douglas is on a roll. He on my hot or not list. He's a hot right now.
Yeah, especially after last week,
screaming bitch at her last week.
Yeah,
and now this week was pretty funny, where it was a mixed tag. Shane and Tori against Kiwi and Paisley, right?
I believe his name is Kiwi.
Is it?
No, it's Kiwi.
I feel like they have also called him Kiwi.
They called him Kiwi at first, and then they got sued by SNL.
Because it's also fruit.
Because it's mango. Yeah.
Yeah, so they, Shane and Kiwi fought a bit, and then Kiwi tagged Paisley, and Shane's
Douglas hit his finish.
Douglas combined his finishes and did an insane, start like a belly to belly, end like a franchiser.
Yeah, turn, but then drop.
Is a real, think like a man, talk like a woman. What's that?
What? Think Like a Man 2? The Tyler Perry movie?
Yeah, but no, because it's something. Is it just Think Like a Man? There's not a second part to it?
Think Like a Man.
Isn't there a woman part to it? It's a Steve Harvey book, isn't it? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but that.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus?
No, I don't think Steve Harvey wrote that. I think that one was just for white people. Yeah, but what was Steve Harvey's weird misogynist book?
Don't worry, Google's going to tell me in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Act like a lady, think like a man.
That's the one. So this was the wrestling move equivalent of that. It was act like a franchiser, think like a belly to belly.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was super weird.
Then he went for the pinfall, which was going to be the finish. Like, he was going to win.
Yeah.
And then Paisley was like, "No, hey, dummy, I want her. I want to fight her."
Yeah. So Paisley gets tagged in, and then Douglas goes, "Okay, I'll go tag in Tori." JK gives her the down low too slow. Yeah. And turns back around, grabs Paisley violently by the hair.
Yeah. Drags her over to a franchise.
Gives her a franchiser where she bumps on her own feet, where she bumps standing.
Yeah.
And fucking pins her.
Yeah.
For 5.
In a very sexual position,
yeah,
too.
It was good.
Also, there was the amazing start of the match where Paisley was on the apron and Tori was on the floor.
Because, you know why? Because Tori is not a fucking wrestler. Stop making these poor girls wrestle. None of them want to do it.
That's why 2 of them quit.
They're hurting themselves and quitting.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And then, when Tori did get up on the apron...
Oh, like her first spot. Okay, because, she got up on the apron because she remembered...
Oh, yeah, I'm in this match.
She had to do a spot.
Yeah.
And then she got right in position for the spot.
Yeah.
And then didn't do it. And then, because it was the old, like, opponent gets whipped near you and you, like, hit them or grab them or something. And, like, she got right in position for it. And then did it way too late anyway.
He hit the ropes, and then he walked away from the ropes, and it was 1... to swing, and then he had to like turn around like
He's
shit.
Like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, hey, what was that breeze?
Yeah, Tyler Breeze.
Where's
he?
You know,
Is he dead? Is he hurt?
He's a jobber. There's still a thing somewhere.
No, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Really?
Yeah, there's still fashion police.
I felt like one of them was hurt.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Fandango.
Guys, remember, this is important. This is important for history.
Yeah.
When they were doing that huge like hype machine for Fandango for some reason. I don't know why.
Johnny Curtis.
Because you got to do something.
Yep.
Got to nuke something.
They would... Didn't he win NXT?
Yes.
Yeah.
He won NXT season 4 or something.
Sure.
And they, like, in the hype videos, they would spell out his name. And the first week or two, I have a vivid recollection of this, because it was a rare Raw that I watched, because I was in...
a hotel room,
Rhode Island, for a Beyond Wrestling show, and we all watch Nitro at I believe now co-booker Ellen Petteruto's house, and they spelled out his name in the promo video, and there were 2 O's at the end. It's spelled Fandango. On national television for literally millions of people.
Fandango.
That's not okay.
That is not okay.
That
Someone really dropped the ball.
That went through a number of checks and balances before that got onto national TV. And every single person who saw it said, okay, good to go.
I also, like, don't they have people that check these things?
Yes.
Before they're like... Nah, that's right. We'll put it up there.
Spell check. Look, I'm not saying spell check everything. Well, I am saying spell check everything because you're pretending to run a professional organization. But at least spell check the names of your wrestlers. Is that too much?
That you have created and you've given them that name
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot to ask. Apparently.
But at least he got to beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
In an amazing match. The one thing I will give him, two things I will give him. One, he's got pretty good charisma.
Yep.
And I wouldn't want to do his finish.
Nope.
That is a thing that would hurt my butt.
I don't think he does it anymore.
Well, he doesn't really do
anything
anything
he doesn't
anymore.
Have a finisher anymore, but
I wouldn't want to hurt my butt like that.
Yeah, guys, don't do top rope leg drops.
Nope.
It'll hurt your butt.
You can be a regular Kenny Dykstra. You can be a regular Psychosis, and you can be a regular Fandango.
Friend of the show, Shane Sweeney did one and broke his ass.
That's why you don't do them. There was also so we were talking about the Filthy Animals and Natural Born Thrillers.
Was that mixed tag the second?
That match? The mixed tag was the second match.
Let's go back.
So the first one comes out. Ray comes out with Tigress.
Yeah.
Jindrak
and then a lot of Natural Born Thrillers come out.
And it's like...
And Scott is so confused.
So it looks like it's Ray versus Jindrak. But then we realize that...
Then we see Tigress on the apron.
Yeah, and Sanders and
then a lot of people
O'Hare and Palumbo are on the other one.
And we're like, so what is going on?
What they're doing is they're picking up the tag match from the pay-per-view where it left off.
Where Orndorff died.
Without Orndorff. So it's 2-on-4. And then the only notes I wrote were like, it was sloppy as shit.
So sloppy.
Everything was real messy.
Everyone's out of position.
I mean, Ray's wearing giant baggy shorts and a hockey jersey.
And a long-sleeved hockey jersey.
Like, huge on him.
Yeah.
And so he's not really the most, like, agile in that stuff. Yeah. But he did do one really cute move to Mark Jindrak, where he hit him in the... Jindrak ran into him in the corner. He got his boots up. Jindrak 180'd and bent over. So Ray ran and slid on his back.
Through his legs.
On his back, through his legs, and then kicked him on the tummy.
Did, like, an up kick from his back.
It was pretty cute.
It was cute as fuck.
And then Tigress.
How about Guygris and it's men only?
I mean, she's...
Can I call myself a Guygris?
If you want.
A guy tigress?
Yeah, if you want.
Or is that trans?
Ooh. No.
It's just guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tigress, but a guy.
You're just a feminine dude. You're just a femme.
I'm a slate little femboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for you're not slate at all.
I mean, it's all relative. Don't body shame me.
4 to 6. There's no slights. Everyone's gay. Tigress pinned 4 members, including Sean Stasiak, who wasn't in the match.
Yeah. So, spoiler. Let's go to the end and work back here. Rain Tigress won this 2-on-4 handicap match.
Yes.
That ended up being a 2-on-5 handicap match.
2-on-5.
Tigress getting 4 of the beats.
Yeah, and the referee didn't care. And which is also a recurring theme throughout the course of the night, that there's just no rules
Low
anymore.
blows, weapon shots, doesn't matter.
Choke some guy through a table when you're not even in the match.
Yeah.
Like, it's all whatever.
But this is one of the worst burials I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the Thrillers did. I don't know if they all fucked Russo's son.
Or, maybe.
But these guys got squashed by a little lady.
By a tiny lady. And a tiny man.
And a tiny man.
Tiny man, tiny lady.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. It was funny. I'll give it that.
So, as most Nitro shows have a recurring abuse of women.
Yep.
This one had the recurring Kevin Nash bad comedy.
Yep.
This one also had recurring light choices. Because,
oh my god!
First off, we got a promo in the Cat's office with the Cat and Disco where it was fully blown out. It was all the lights that the production team had.
It was a supernova.
Were on high beam in that room, and it was like they were in a dream.
Yeah.
Super bright. And then in Sting's locker room...
Yeah, I don't know what his
there was like
is.
Streaks along the wall.
There were some yellows and
colors, and like multiple colors.
Yeah,
not really lighting anything other than just to break up the wall.
Yeah,
so that the wall was vaguely dark, but then there's a little bit of color in there. Yeah, which makes no fucking sense.
This had a series of fascinating lighting choices.
An interesting life choice.
Yeah.
The Cat and Disco Inferno.
Okay.
Was a thing.
I will say there was one funny line. Disco walks into Cat's office with a plastic duck. Cat, I'm paraphrasing, says, "What the fuck is that?"
I believe that was pretty accurate.
Disco says, "It's my disco duck. It's my new visual aid." I thought that was funny. I thought having a visual aid is funny. Not for anything. It's just a visual aid.
So fucking dumb.
Also, this show gave me visual aids.
Well, now you can actually see the effects of them.
Yeah.
You didn't have them before.
No.
Jesus Christ. Like, the pretty much the whole gist of it was just to get Cat versus Disco for the commissionership, which they do 100 times.
Every week.
Like, every week somebody challenges for the commissionership and the Cat wins in, like, a dumb bullshit 4-minute match. Well, guess what? This one was, like, 15 seconds.
This one had stakes, though, because this was commissionership versus if Disco loses, Ray and Hoovy vacate the tag titles. And
which, of course, as soon as they said that, you were like, oh, that's happening.
That's going to happen.
That's what happens.
Because that's how title changes work in WCW. Typically, people who don't have the titles are involved in matches that decide the titles.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Prediction came true. So I was so happy to be right. Does Cat pin Disco in 15 seconds?
15 seconds?
Yeah.
Hits him with the duck.
Yep.
Gives him a kick. Pins him.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
We're not missing anything.
Yep. That was wonderful. Then we got a ridiculous Mike Tenay, David Flair thing in David Flair's house, where David Flair is acting like a crazy person. However, it did give us a pretty funny thing where Mike Tenay asks David if he has any idea who the father could be.
David of Stacy's love
baby.
child. It was not his.
David says it's probably Reed, And Mike Tenay goes, Reed's 11 years old. And David says, yeah, but I see what he does. You don't see what he does.
That was...
implying Reed is a masturbator.
That was crazy.
Good thing Reed's not around to relive that memory.
To imply that 11-year-old Reed knocked up Stacy Keibler.
Yeah. Not only that Stacy would stoop low enough to sleep with an 11-year-old... but that his younger brother is the one that banged his future wife.
Also that the 11-year-old is like shooting silver bullets.
Yeah.
Like, kid can go.
Yeah, kid can go. Gross.
I don't know if it's true. My parents have always, like, implied that they've had sex twice ever to create me and my sister. And my dad refers to it as the silver bullet. I think it's a joke, but I don't know.
That's a Monty Python thing, though.
Is it?
From The Meaning of Life, where they're like the Protestant family, and then he says, like he's explaining to his wife that they could use contraception if they wanted to, but he's like, we've had sex 3 times and we have 3 children, and that is our choice.
That's right. And then...
radio silence.
Oh, look.
Just take a breather. Regain your composure. Take a nice brief silence.
Okay. I'm good. Praise be to Tim Allen.
So then they gave us a promo in the back that told us that there was going to be a Sting Booker title match tonight
in the middle of the show.
Yeah, which you would think would be the main event.
No.
So we saw it. We're like, oh, this match on paper could be a great match.
It's the two, like, main event type guys
who work their asses off,
who work too hard,
who still care about the company
for what they're given.
But of course, we're like, no. This is going to be a bump. Like, somebody's getting fucked, and like, there's going to be a bunch of running bullshit.
Yeah.
A major thing we've kind of glossed over because I didn't write it down.
Is it a Major Guns?
Because we fast forward. No, she hasn't come up yet. Because we fast forwarded through the whole thing. Was there was some Russo, Steiner, Jarrett, Nash bullshit where they were all bickering with one another.
Yeah.
So Russo made a match,
which they do for fake every week.
Every show is a fake breakup with the non NWO.
Yeah, to like screw over usually Booker or Sting.
Yes. But this time...
Sting is the most
tricked
man in the history of wrestling, right?
Well, considering the Four Horsemen spent years
just every
tricking him.
And then Luger.
And then Luger.
Yeah.
One of my fondest memories...
Sting's a fucking idiot.
One of my fondest memories growing up was that I had a VHS copy of Halloween Havoc 95.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking terrible show.
The Yeti.
It's the Yeti. The Yeti.
Sorry.
And Battle of the Sumo Monster Trucks.
Yep.
And blah, blah. It's terrible. But it was the culmination of the Arn Anderson, Brian Pillman turned on Ric Flair. Flair begged Sting to be his partner.
Yes.
Flair then got beat up in the back, so Sting had to wrestle the whole match by himself.
Flair comes
out in street clothes with his head taped.
Yep.
Out on the apron, he's strutting, he's banging, he's calling for Sting,
Sting makes
the hot tag. Flair gets in the ring, takes 2 steps, turns around, pops Sting in the face, and then the Horseman beats Sting up.
Sting, you fucking
idiot. You dumbass.
Sting, this has happened before. Sting, 1995 was not the first time that happened.
No! But, like, every time they try and make it seem like Flair and Sting are finally on the same page, they're finally going to be bros, and Flair fucks him. And this is the exact same thing with us, with the crowd, where they're like, Jarrett's going to call this match right down the middle, straight down the middle, and then turn.
That was...
Nash and Russo are not on the same page because Russo made a title match, and then Russo gets the title and gives it to Nash. We gotcha. Yeah.
And, like, we were trying to figure out this one. They're like, so what's this one going to be? Who are they even trying to, like, put one over on this time? Is it just us?
It's just the fans.
It's just us.
Although this one did have, for now, had the payoff.
Yes.
I feel like we watch next show and we're going to get the reveal because we, like you and I, know what the reveal is.
Because in case you're not keeping track, next week is September 25th, 2000.
Yeah.
And it has at least 2 cool things happen on that show.
Yes, it does.
It's what we've been counting down to. And after September 25th, all we got, our last milestone is December, whatever the fuck, 18th, right? Because
18th.
No Christmas, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Thank God. We'll be done by next June easily.
God, I hope not. I hope this is the last one we do. I hope that somebody that we've made that offer to takes us up on, and yeah. But so Sting and Booker have the match. Russo, the whole show is Russo spent arguing with Steiner and Jarrett because it's going to be Russo and Nash versus Steiner and Jarrett.
Winner gets a title shot at Booker.
On the next Nitro.
Unless Sting wins this title match. I don't know.
Well then, yeah, I guess. Like, do you think they thought that ahead?
No.
So it's just like Nash saying he's like, I don't work Mondays anymore, and like since when? Since now,
which is pretty funny.
That's kind of funny. And then Nash like, I'm going to take the Natural Born Thrillers out for the we're going to go party and whatever. So Russo doesn't have a partner, and then Jarrett and Steiner. It's like Russo trying to like get out of having to wrestle Jarrett and Steiner.
Yeah.
So he's gonna book. He tricks Chronic into getting the Cat to book Chronic versus Steiner and Jarrett.
Yeah.
Before Steiner and Jarrett have to wrestle.
Steiner
Russo.
and Jarrett are working twice.
So Sting and Booker is like, it's decent.
Sting kind of squashes
but it's kind of Sting squashing them. Like Sting gets
and Booker and Sting did like a promo in the back before the match.
Yes.
And Sting was just like an asshole.
Sting's kind of acting like a dick.
And then Booker punched him.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And yeah, then they have a match. Then Sting like straight up squashes him. Booker gets like one piece of offense at the beginning, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then Sting hits all the spots,
Yeah.
Goes for the Scorpion.
Puts on the Scorpion.
And then Steiner Jarrett through the entranceway, blasts him with a guitar.
Yeah.
Steiner comes in, clobbers Booker with the pipe.
Was this actually a DQ?
There was no finish.
Okay.
Like the referee was just like, "Wow, this is what it is."
Well, I guess this isn't a match anymore.
This is what it is. So they put them in figure 4 and Steiner recliner, and then just leave. And then Russo's kind of freaking out in the back a little bit.
It was at this point where I really I already knew it, but I really became aware of how much worse the Steiner recliner is than just a regular camel clutch.
Yeah.
It's just a much worse version of an already common move. I'm gonna start doing like a really bad body slam as my finisher.
No, you just gotta do the Honky Tonk Man's finisher.
Oh, the swinging neck breaker where you have vertigo so you don't even bump yourself? Yeah.
You just spin the guy, he lands on his back, and then you get down to pin him.
And then you very gingerly go down and cover him.
Yeah. So, of course, this is bullshit. There was... what did I make? Oh, during the brawl, Sting goes up to the top rope, ready to jump off onto Steiner,
and then
Steiner just doesn't.
Steiner didn't turn around.
Steiner doesn't get close enough to him. Sting has to
just gets
jump down.
Yeah,
It was
what are you gonna
pretty
do?
Embarrassing.
Hey, the best laid plans.
Yeah, the best laid plans. So then we got. So I don't know if we mentioned, but we're in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
So Storm, Skipper, and Major Boobs come out.
Still a hostage.
They go run down what happened at the pay-per-view where they had 2 successful title defenses, and they managed to turn like an American hero. So out comes Duggan.
Even though Duggan was actively fighting Storm this time
cost him the match.
Last week against Rection last week.
But now on his team.
Yeah.
Unretired after a week.
Yeah.
Shaved.
Getting nothing but cheers because it's in Canada.
Because that's what you do. When you turn an American hero into a bad guy.
Yeah, you
do it in the country you've turned him into. That's like Sergeant Slaughter turning on America in Iran.
Yes. Good example.
Right, in Iraq. It's the same.
It's all the same.
They all eat sucking sand and fucking camels. That's all the same.
It's all the same.
Jihad.
Guys, in case you're wondering, we are still the #1 alt-right wrestling podcast on iTunes.
We're also the #3 alt-left podcast on iTunes. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
So they come out, whatever. MIA comes out to cut them off doing their pro-Canada, anti-America stuff. Of course, in Canada, so you have the American heroes come down to make the save against the Canadians. Getting booed.
Yeah. It was funny.
This match was literally nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this was the match, though, where, like, the Wall chokeslammed Elix Skipper from the apron through a table.
Yeah.
Like, of course. And no DQ.
Yeah. It was about this time we realized that Chavo Guerrero isn't good at wrestling.
Chavo sucks.
Chavo's not good.
Chavo is low-key, and not even low-key, high-key, the worst wrestler that's ever gotten, like, mainstream pushes.
For a long time.
Like he bitched out on a splash in the corner. We saw him live fake an injury.
So he didn't have to
keep wrestling Sin Cara. Like, he sucks.
Like, he was on national TV from, like, 97, 98 to...
Now. Is he still in Lucha Underground? No, he's not on TV.
Not much, but, like, up to, like, last season of Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah. With, like, not a lot of gaps in between.
No.
Like, he doesn't deserve it.
No. WCW, WWE, TNA.
Oh, yeah, he was in TNA.
Back to WWE.
That's right.
Back to TNA. Lucha Underground.
God damn.
Yeah, fucking what a guy. He was part of LAX.
Yes, he was.
Like the second LAX.
Him and Hernandez.
Yeah. And they were tag champs for a long ass time.
They were.
They suck. Chavo sucks. Hernandez sucks.
Yeah, that's a shitty team.
Scott, I'm gonna let you in on a little known secret.
You hate Hernandez?
No one who's ever wrestled in LAX is good. Because even Homicide, when he was in it, was shit.
Okay, I thought you meant no one is everybody. I'm like,
Homicide was great.
Good.
Yeah, Homicide was really entertaining. But he, in LAX, was dog shit.
I think there was one good early, probably like 07, LAX versus Styles and Daniels.
I don't believe you.
I think there was.
I mean, I feel like that could be a thing, but I don't.
But that's it.
I don't believe you.
Because Homicide was serviceable in 2007. That was like his last year.
Remember when he got like a fucking push? Like they were pushing him really hard just because he's a big guy. But like he was getting like singles pushes.
Are you talking Homicide or Hernandez?
Hernandez, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, Homicide's not that bad. Homicide's pretty short, actually.
Remember when Homicide didn't want to get told how to get out of a cage, and then,
That might be the saddest thing I've ever seen on a wrestling show.
It's pretty fucking sad.
It made me... it was tragic. I saw Owen Hart die, and this was worse.
Oh, Jesus.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Homicide, unable to escape the dome, was worse than Owen Hart dying in the ring.
That was pretty fucking sad. Remember Mexican America? That was a good thing.
Yeah.
Chavo and Hernandez. Oh, only 103 days. I thought it was... Oh, and then the second time was 52, and then the third time was not a thing. So they had it twice.
And the third time, we're still waiting on.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. Anyways.
I don't know.
So,
Homicide came back. Homicide's in TNA right now, so...
That is true.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things. He sucks. This match was nothing.
Yeah.
Duggan won after clobbering everybody with the 2x4 in front of the ref. And also shoved the ref at one point.
Yeah.
But whatever. There's no rules.
All the refs are cucks now.
Yeah, they all did it. They suck. They all just getting pushed around and made out with and...
How about him Duggan and it's guys only?
I feel like you might have to talk to Jim Duggan about that, because I feel like in his past he's said and done some things that are against that idea.
Huh, okay.
So now, Chronic comes out. Out comes the New Blood.
How about Guy and Adams and it's just for men?
You might have to talk to Brian Adams.
How about Guy and Clark?
You might have to talk to
It works
Brian
for
Clark about that. I feel like you're picking a lot of guys that would not approve of the lifestyle you're trying to put on them.
It's not like gay. It's just like...
Yeah, but if it's just for guys...
It's just for guys.
So that means there's no women
it's like
around?
a men's club.
I don't know.
Men's clubs are gay, right?
And men's clubs are real gay. Chronic comes out, gets cut off by Nash, who's got the Natural Born Thrillers.
How about Kevin Gash and he's trans?
Ew. I do not like that term. I think we've gone over that a lot.
I know you don't
that
like
term is disgusting. But Kelly uses it all that time.
Kelly likes it a lot.
Doesn't he? Didn't he use the term Nash that gash?
Yeah, he did. That's why he's fired. That's why you will never hear Kelly on the podcast again.
Ugh. Take the knot.
Because he said Nash that gash. Ugh.
Ugh.
So we're not on board with the trans Kevin Nash.
Not really.
Okay.
This was just... It was just the Natural Born Thrillers running in two at a time and getting beaten up by Chronic until, surprise, surprise, Steiner and Jarrett come out and beat up Chronic. Like, cool. Exact same thing they did to Sting and Booker. Like, fucking great. How
about Jeff Wade Barrett and he's British?
That seems like something that would have a mashup. So, in theory, this was Steiner and Jarrett going to Nash to take out Chronic so that they didn't have to wrestle them, which is exactly what happened. So now, we've had 2 planned tag team matches that haven't happened.
Correct. I did like the way it started when Nash just started firing out Natural Born Thrillers at Chronic. Chronic went right to their finishing moves. No screwing around.
No fucking around.
Just like Clark just like kicks him, hits him out down, and Adams kicks him, hits the full Nelson Slam, which we were looking up to see if it has a cool name. You bet it does. Cuts like a knife.
Cuts like a knife.
Fucking cool.
Jesus Christ. That's a fucking ridiculous thing to name your move.
That's hella gay.
That's hella gay. Question.
It's heaps gay, mate.
We might have gone over this before.
Hit me.
What year did Bryan Adams die?
2010.
7. Much younger. Also trained by Fujinami and Inoki.
Bryan Adams was trained by Fujinami and Inoki.
Apparently.
Interesting.
So what it says? He started...
You wouldn't know it.
He started out in New Japan in 1986 and 87.
Really? He was in New Japan then?
Apparently.
Crazy.
And the only reason he left is because his work visa expired. So, yeah, in 1986, he was only 24.
His work visa expired and he never learned how to work again.
I mean, yeah. Anyways, that's enough Bryan Adams.
That's enough of the Bryan Adams deep dive.
Deep dives. This was fucking dumb shit. But in the back, we get Mike Awesome rolling up in his van, and as he leaves, you see Vampiro and the ICP sneaking over to the van.
Yep.
Then you got 3 Count telling Awesome somebody did something to his van, so he goes out and sees it.
Bunch of fucking stooges.
Bunch of little weenie twinks.
But
where's their bear? I miss their bear.
Where is their bear? I think he's gone.
He's long gone. He's fired. He probably said some real bad things to somebody, and he probably John Bradshaw Layfield did somebody in the shower.
He probably did.
He Paul Londoned him.
He probably did something that was guys only.
he for sure did something that was guys only.
Yeah.
Tank is all about that thick meat.
So in the 2 minutes between last time we saw the bus and now, a great deal of vandalism has been done to it.
A lot of graffiti has been done.
I did enjoy on the front windshield more like Mike Mediocre.
Mike Mediocre, yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
So then Awesome comes to the ring, challenges Vampiro to a hardcore match, tells him to leave those sissy clowns in the back.
Yep.
Which then they come out, they have a hardcore match. It was whatever.
Vampiro was dressed as Bram Stoker's Dracula.
But then we thought, I bet you the ICP will run in. And they're like, oh, no, it's in Canada. They can't get across the border. Yeah. So that's why they had to pre-record the bus thing.
Yeah.
And then they didn't come down. And so Mike Awesome kind of just squashed Vampiro.
Pretty much just kicked Vampiro's ass.
Yeah, just kicked his ass. Yeah. Finish was over-the-top powerbomb through a table.
Yep. Has that actually been a hit in WCW yet? Or has it just been teased a bunch of times? I don't know if he's actually done it.
Maybe not that we've seen, because there could have been some some thunders or some pay-per-views.
Yeah,
or...
but I don't know if have we seen it on Nitro?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the actual, over-the-top through the table on the floor?
Yeah, I really don't think so.
It looked good.
Yep. I'm going to do it to somebody.
It was safe enough.
I'm going to do it to you.
I don't think you're going to do it to me.
I'm going to do it to you. And then, time for the main event, whatever. Steiner and Jarrett come out. Oh, no. Mm-hmm. Russo needs to find a new partner.
Yes.
So he goes into Sting's cool lit bedroom.
Oddly lit bedroom. I have a bedroom in every arena.
He's got the overhead lights turned off. He's got lamps turned on, and the lamps have, colors over top of them so that they make the room look cool.
Yeah, I like it. With all the the men's room cruising I do. I
First off,
the handicap stall is what I like to refer to as the master bedroom.
I don't like the fact that you were referred to it as cruising. I know it's called cruising.
It's such a funny word.
But the fact that you used it...
It's such a funny word. I also love that there's like an early 80s Al Pacino movie called Cruising.
Is it about cruising?
Yeah. He's like I think someone's killing gay guys and he goes like undercover to gay clubs and stuff.
Nice.
I bet it is problematic.
Yeah.
Given I think it's like 1980-ish. Like it's
1980.
Boom. It's a fairly young Pacino, and yeah, it probably doesn't age great, but it's also probably awesome.
I bet you there's a lot of things said in that movie that you would not be allowed to get away with today.
But yeah.
Oh, it's a William Friedkin movie.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Guys, Cruising. I recommend it, both the movie and the thing.
And actually cruising.
Yeah. It's such a good word.
Are you familiar with the rules of cruising?
I thought it was every man for himself. I didn't know there were rules of order. Marquis of Queensberry rules.
Queensberry. There's a TV show on HBO that I watch that is like a docuseries about
cruising.
No, it's about like modern dating and stuff, but it's like so there's episodes that are like about like Tinder dating and then like people ghosting people and then so it's a whole bunch of them. There's one that was on Grindr and then they were like talking to these two younger gay guys about Grindr. They were sort of like going through the app and showing stuff and then like one of the person's names, like their profile name was like Cruising.
Nice.
And so then the conversation came up and then they did like a cutaway to what cruising was. And apparently there was a long list of rules.
Really?
And like how you set it up and how you let somebody know that you're interested and then how you let somebody know if you're a top or a bottom.
Interesting.
And like...
So I've been going about this all wrong.
Well, you know about...
I think I've just been raping men in the bathroom.
Do you know about toe tapping? Because there was that congressman that got in trouble for toe tapping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is... really funny.
It's really funny.
Really funny.
Yeah. Or like there are websites that are dedicated to letting you know where like the public cruising places are.
Nice.
Like you know what, Scott? I can look up where it is and we can go right after this podcast if you want.
Our night just got booked.
I wonder if there's some in Coquitlam.
There's got to be.
I don't know. It's an American thing, so unless people have been traveling, no, I don't want. But yeah, cruising in Vancouver.
So they've done one for Grindr. Have they done one for Howler?
They have not, but I will write an email immediately.
Good.
There is right here, where to cruise in Vancouver. The website is called Extra, like just Extra.
Nice.
And it's gonna give us all the known spots.
All the spots?
Parks, beaches, a few washrooms downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks. I don't want your app. Wreck Beach.
I was gonna say I assume Wreck Beach.
Lee's Trail in Stanley Park.
Okay.
Strathcona Park. I hope our listeners are enjoying if they ever come visit us, they know where they can...
the hot cruising spots.
What?
What? Drew's house?
No, I knew that. Apparently the men's washroom on the lower main floor of the Bay... Downtown.
Oh yeah, I can confirm that.
Bentel Tower, man, there's a lot.
Which Bentel Tower? There's multiple. Maybe there's just one called that.
Northeast corner of Melville and Thurlow.
I've been there.
In the food court.
Ooh, haven't been to the food court. Oh, downstairs. I've been going upstairs.
There is a story that I don't know if I'm gonna like.
Well, you've brought it up, so now you have to say it. The rules of podcasting.
Okay, I just want to read...
Not unlike the rules of cruising. If you bring up a story, you have to tell it.
I want to just read you... Somebody... It's like, I don't know, it's like a story, I guess. So, my friend Todd gave me a tip about the toilets in the Bental Towers at the northeast corner of Melville and Thurlow Street in the food court. I went down hoping to find the after-work crowd. Man, this place was busier than the dark room at Steamworks on a Saturday night.
Jesus Christ.
Steamworks is a gay bathhouse in Vancouver. There were 2 stalls, both occupied, and a couple of urinals. I went up to the urinal to take a piss, since I actually had to go pretty bad. I looked around at the 2 men waiting to use the stalls and noticed the man next to me was staring at my junk. One man left the washroom only to come back in a few minutes later. In the small space, there were men of all sorts crammed around, and it was pretty obvious it was for cruising. A security guard did come in. There was a sign on the door warning that the washrooms were monitored.
Knock it off, fellas.
But he took a leak and then left. I doubt he was oblivious to what was going on.
Maybe he was in on it.
While I didn't see any action directly, I'd say this is certainly a busy cruising spot with a lot of promise. So... as you are listening to this podcast, Scott and I have been frequenting that bathroom. But yeah, there's lots of rules.
Amazing.
Like rubbing and, if you have your hands in your pants and you're like making this sign, rubbing your wiener, that's like a sign. Or you rub your facial hair
what
when somebody was looking at you.
What if I'm just throwing a crotch shot because I love DX?
What if you got crabs?
What if I got crabs?
Well, then you're giving that guy crabs. Seafood buffet.
Oh, I'm gonna have to learn these rules because I've been
forcing yourself.
I've been playing it real fast and loose,
forcing your barbs into a young boy's buttocks.
You know what they say about both my penis and the movie Hellfest: fun going in, hell getting out.
Just ripping and pulling. I don't want to picture that in my head.
You should.
Now I'm picturing it. How did we get onto cruising? God.
How did we? Bathrooms.
You cruising.
I referred to the handicap stall as the master bedroom.
Oh, you're talking about Sting's bedroom.
Oh, yeah, Sting's bedroom.
So...
we did it.
Steiner and Jarrett come out for the match, and then Sting's music plays.
I guess I gotta use the poster for cruising as the thumbnail for this, right?
Probably.
There's not really another option.
Or if you can find Fandango.
Or Fandango, or Kevin Nash with a vagina. Those are my 3 options.
I hope there's a picture of, like, somebody taking, like, a Kevin Nash like this, and then they just impose a vagina where he's pointing. This is Kevin Nash with a vagina. So, Russo's music plays, and out comes Booker to Russo's music. Again, like, this is just, like, a dumb, swervy thing that they're doing, where it's like, oh, either Russo's turning face, or he's turned Booker heel. So Booker, like, takes Russo's place. The match was, surprisingly, a wrestling match.
This was literally the first match on the show that resembled a pro wrestling match.
Like,
we knew the finish wouldn't.
There was chain.
We had accepted there. Yeah,
there was hope spots.
There was heat.
Yeah.
Like, they wrestled a tag team match.
Yeah.
Which we hadn't seen heretofore on this show. Like, everything had just been nonsense.
Yes.
There was the 2-on-4 where a girl pinned everybody.
Yep.
There was a mixed tag where
a man beat up a woman.
Yeah. There was a 15-second squash for the commissionership versus the tag team titles.
Yeah.
There was a world title match in the middle of the show that went 3 minutes. That was basically a squash with no finish.
There was Canadians versus Americans. That was a complete nothing match.
And wasn't even originally a match. It just, like, turned into one.
Yeah, and then there was Chronic beating up young guys only to get beat up.
Wasn't really a match.
Yep.
And was that
Austin Vampiro was kind of, but it was just a hardcore match.
And it was just a hardcore
match.
So this was the only thing resembling a standard professional wrestling match.
Until the finish.
So, but we knew that. We weren't surprised, like, oh, what? Not a clean finish.
Yeah. So Jarrett gets dragged out. Chronic comes down and beats up Jarrett in the rampway with Sting.
Yeah.
Then Russo runs down with a ripped shirt carrying a bat.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who beat up Jarrett or beat up Russo.
They implied that Booker beat him up?
They implied Booker beat him up. So he gets in the ring, and Steiner has Booker in the recliner.
Yeah, Steiner releases it.
And Russo comes in and grabs the referee and yells the referee.
Yeah.
Steiner releases it to grab Russo, who throws the bat.
Yeah, and Steiner like, punches Russo. So we're like, oh, so this isn't a swerve?
I guess. Until next week when it is a swerve.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Throws the bat to Booker. Booker then clubs Steiner in the face with his mask off.
Yep.
Because Steiner has the mask to protect his broken face.
Yeah.
And then drags Russo on top of Steiner.
For the pin.
Pins him, and then grabs Russo, pulls him up, and says, I'll see you next week for our title match. So it is Russo Booker for the title next week.
I think it will go well.
I bet you it does.
I'm optimistic.
I bet you it does, and I bet you I'm going to read you some results from a July Nitro that are in the back of this book. when I literally have...
Oh, so many more notes.
2 full pages on both shows.
Damn. I don't miss
this. This is not a thing I ever want to do again.
No, I think we got the system down.
Michael Austin versus Booker T title match.
I think that might have been okay. No.
Nitro Girl Beef!
Oh yeah, also next week there's a Miss Nitro.
Miss Nitro, yeah.
And we think there might be some beef on that.
We think Nitro Girl Beef wins it.
Yeah. Is Beef Ronda Singh or another fat girl?
Another fat girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, actually, I don't know.
It's unclear. Is there only one fat girl? Are all fat girls just Ronda Singh?
Ronda Singh is Nitro Girl Beef.
Okay. Cool.
Nitro Girl Beef. That's so good.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, that was good.
Credit where it's due. She, considering we have barely seen her, she's gotten a lot of play on this podcast.
Wow, she dies,
soon?
Pretty fast. She dies in July.
Oh, wow, of 01?
Of 01.
Wow.
Of a heart attack at 40.
Woof. Beef.
Jesus. Poor lady. She was Canadian?
Yes.
Interesting.
She was.
Didn't know that. Although she was billed from the States. I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Everything's a lie.
She never married or had children. Well, I'm not surprised. Look at her.
Unfuckable.
Unfuckable. Well, no. Unfinishable.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to finish.
Harvey Whippleman jammed it in soft in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
But
or
there's no completion.
It's one of those things where you close your eyes.
Yeah.
And just think really hard until you can get it mostly hard
of a strong man,
and then you just kind of and then you go until it's soft, and then you pretend I'm really tired. I'm cramping. I need to stop. I need to stop.
I'm drunk and on coke and all the other things that make my dick not work. Sorry. Good night.
Oh, come on, man. My dick don't work, man. Come on, man. My dick don't work.
I'm really enunciating right now. We went over an hour. Can you believe it?
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
I also hate this and never want to do it again. Good thing we're probably going to do another one.
We get a good one next week, though.
Yeah, but only 2 things are good on it. The rest of it...
Oh, no. It'll be 6 minutes of hilarity.
We get new tag team champions.
I guess so, because right now there are no tag team champions.
Yep.
So,
do you think the stripped former champions will be involved in the match for the tag team titles?
Have to be.
You are correct.
I'm excited.
You shouldn't be.
I hope they just win them back and the whole thing was pointless. They probably don't. Someone else probably wins it, but I don't know. I'm assuming some version of Thrillers win it is my guess.
I don't know. I know the answer, but I'm not going to tell you.
I appreciate you letting me savor the mystery.
Yep.
And savor the flavor.
It's Boogie Nights.
Really?
No, it's not.
They're not even a thing yet. Or they were, but then they come back?
Yeah.
Because they were in 99, right? But then they come back again and...
Well, they fired Alex Wright for some dumb reason.
Right. And then, but does he come back, or am I imagining this?
He comes back.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes back. And then, him and General Huge Erection are tag team champions at some point, because Disco gets hurt, and they need a replacement, and they replace him with...
Alex Wright?
Alex Wright and General Erection are tag team champions.
That can't be true.
Scott, I will literally show you to your face.
That is categorically...
To your face.
That is categorically impossible. I refuse to believe this. It's well documented. I have memorized every title history in professional wrestling. And flipping through the old WCW Tag Team title Rolodex, I do not have a Huge Erection and an Alex Wright on the same line of my brain spreadsheet.
Well, your brain is about to be exploded. Alex Wright, General Erection.
What are you even talking about?
November 16th in a Millennium Final in Germany.
November 16th to November 20th.
Yeah. General Erection took the place of injured Disco Inferno. Disco is recognized by the WWE as the rightful champion with Alex Wright. So they beat O'Hare and Jindrak, and then they lose it to Stasiak and Palumbo.
Wow.
So a German and an American won it in Germany from two Americans.
I am baffled.
Essen, mein Scheiße.
By this turn of events. Huh. Well, shows what I know about 2000 WCW.
Oh, I want a bust and I want a title change.
I think you said I want to bust.
I want to bust. You're not even going to let me bust, you bitch!
Guys, it's been an hour and 5 minutes. We gotta get out of here. We've been trying to bust for a while now.
Peace out, two dogs. We're gonna go do some cruising.